Hi, I'm Kelby, and I'm here with Meredith, Kyla, Abby, and Maddie, so we can prove to you that history does repeat itself. In the past 150 years, tens of millions of men, women, and children have lost their lives due to genocide or mass atrocities. Millions have been tortured, raped, or forced from their homes. Some, all three. Today our group will be focusing on the Holocaust and a more recent issue, the genocide in Darfur. Through our research, we have found that the two issues are closely related. This podcast is told from a first-person narrative point of view by witnesses to the Holocaust and Darfur disasters. It paints a vivid picture of the mass destruction in the northeast region of Africa, what the world knows to be Darfur.
What was the motive that began each of these genocides?
The Holocaust started gradually. According to the History Place, in 1932, after the SS and SA were banned, Hitler and the Nazis became outraged. Hitler wanted to fight the ban, but he knew that he could only do this by obtaining some power. They also stated that Hitler and the Nazis used this opportunity to their advantage to make a big impression, and they definitely did just that. Within 6 months of Hitler being appointed as Chancellor, Hitler's first concentration camp, Dachau, was created here in Germany. He used this as a training center for soon-to-be concentration camp guards and later commandments. As stated by the Florida Center for Instructional Technology, victims like myself were taught cruel and terrifying tactics to dehumanize their prisoners.
My home country, Darfur, was usually a scene of occasional conflicts between Arabs and Africans because of our race and economic differences in the North and South. The Holocaust Museum Houston thinks that the government blamed these clashes on the competition over scarce resources. This eventually resulted into a North versus South civil war. There was no clear leadership for us at the time, so Sudan as a whole took control. HMH also said that they armed soldiers, known as the Janjaweed, to help out and try to settle the conflicts. The Janjaweed is a group of people drawn from Arab tribes similar to the Nazis. Just like the Nazis, once the Janjaweed gained control of Darfur, they began to use their power alternate ways against us.
Was there any U.S. aid or involvement?
The United States did not provide much aid for us victims during the Holocaust. Before the Holocaust started, the U.S. only let a limited amount of immigrants into the country due to economical issues and other factors. According to an article on History.com that I read after this tragedy, in 1938, 5 years after Hitler became the leader, President Roosevelt organized a conference with other nations to persuade them to let Jews into their countries, but no country wanted such a large number of people immigrating.
The citizens of Darfur, including myself, look up to and count on the United States to be there for us, but lately they haven't been here as much as we think they are fully capable of. I read a new poll by Zogby International that surveyed 1,000 Americans a few days ago asking about Darfur. It said 62% agreed that the United States has the responsibility to help stop the killings in the Darfur region of Sudan. Only 24% disagreed. America has been the most generous nation in providing aid, and we are thankful for that, but we think that they are capable of providing more than they currently are.
Who were the people that were killed in each genocide?
During the Holocaust, the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum believes that Hitler had been mainly directing all discrimination towards Jews. They also believe that he had been going after a couple other groups such as gypsies, Poles, people with physical or mental disabilities, Jehovah's Witnesses, homosexuals, and others too. People with physical or mental disabilities were discriminated against because they were said to be a threat to the Nazi plan for human perfection. All of these people, including me, were undesirable by Nazi standards because of who we were, our genetic or cultural origins, or health conditions.
Genocide in Darfur is a difficult situation right now. HMH says that the Janjaweed have been taking after Hitler's actions and going after a certain group, ethnic Africans, but they have also been targeting us women, innocents, and some entire villages have been attacked. The Janjaweed often rape and kill the women that have to leave the camps to get firewood. Camps are always being raided and destroyed, forcing civilians to leave in the worst conditions. A great deal of the people the Janjaweed are picking out are innocent civilians. I could be next.
As a large group, the question, does history repeat itself, was asked to us. At first thought, most likely yours too, the answer would be a simple yes or no based on a personal experience or a personal form of research. There is so much more to take from that question though. Our standpoint on this essential question is that history does very much repeat itself. That is, until we learn to correct our mistakes and learn from them. As an individual, we feel helpless sometimes. It is human nature. Every one of us makes up the whole. The whole is what's going to matter in the long run. We call you to action. Stopping a genocide is a very grand scale action. We have to work towards it. The action we encourage from you is to realize that people matter. Your family, friends, neighbors, or even your enemies. Start by caring and realizing that all of us together make up the whole. When we start with something small, the results will be enough to change the world.